KNES English Medium Junior College welcome its 11th standard student for the online lecture of philosophy. For the introduction of the subject philosophy, for the topic meaning and the chapters of philosophy. Student, philosophy is new subject to you. You must be very anxious to know about philosophy. Art faculty students study various dimensions of human life, society and culture. The study of philosophy is a fundamental of an overall study of art faculty. The main objective of the subject is to make you understand its significance. So let's understand what is philosophy. The word philosophy is derived from three Greek words, philo and sophia, where philo means love and sophia means wisdom. Therefore, the literal meaning of philosophy is love of wisdom. Philosophy deals with every aspect of human life. To define philosophy in terms of its subject is very limited and narrow. The scope of philosophy is very wide and is defined by the term wisdom. Philosophy is defined as a study of fundamental natures of knowledge, of reality and existence. There are different philosophers who have defined philosophy in different ways. Among the Western philosophers, Socrates, he defined philosophy as a love of wisdom. Aristotle, he defined philosophy as a knowledge of truth. Thus, many other philosophers too define philosophy. It is a knowledge of reality. It is thinking in more sophisticated and advanced form. According to the Indian context, philosophy is called by the name as Tattva Jnana, which means darshana. The literal meaning of philosophy is darshana, that is vision or sight. According to Indian philosopher Shankaracharya, he defined philosophy as a knowledge of nature, of Brahman, universe. According to Sankhya Darshana, philosophy is Prakriti, nature, and Purusha, human being. Philosophy is also known as a mother of all science. It is difficult to accept the definition of philosophy. Philosophy aims at understanding the ultimate reality. Many scientific truths known today were initially philosophical questions. When these questions were answered, they moved into the branch of philosophy. For this reason, philosophy is said to be the mother of all science. Students, this year we are going to study following chapter in the subject of philosophy. This philosophy textbook of Standard 11 consists of 6 chapters. These 6 chapters are as follows. 1. What is philosophy? Why philosophy? 2nd, what is? How do we know what to do? 3rd, appearances are deceptive. 4th, getting to know, knowing. 5th, freedom and moral value. 6th, science and technology and philosophy. Students, as the title of the chapter are quite confusing. Let me clear what is there in each of these chapters. First chapter, what is philosophy, why philosophy? This topic helps us to know the nature of the subject philosophy. It tells us the use of the word philosophy in the language. It tells us the difference between the scientific perspective, the artistic expression, and the philosophical perspective. It describes the significance of philosophy in life. It tells us how philosophy can be used in practice with example. It explains how a person's action is affected by philosophy. So, these are the different motives of the chapter, what is philosophy, why philosophy. This chapter consists of 4 parts, that is, the wonderful universe, the scope and the characteristics of philosophy, method of philosophy, the definition and values of philosophy. Chapter 2. What is, how do we know what to do? This chapter consists of the following topic. It tries to explain the main question of philosophy, as the work of the philosophy is to raise questions. So, it classifies the philosophical question into main branch of philosophy. It describes the interrelation among the branches of philosophy, how the different branches of philosophy are related with each other. It also describes the association between the culture and philosophy. So it tells us the link of philosophy and culture. So the chapter, what is, how do we know what to do? This chapter consists of 3 topics, philosophy and culture, the main branches of philosophy, and the nature of philosophy in Indian context. Chapter 3. Appearance and deceptive. The main aim of this chapter to explain the concept of philosophy. The concept of philosophy such as real, unreal, permanent, impermanent, etc. It tries to explain the different philosophical theories about reality. It makes us understand the main problem faced by metaphysics, a branch of philosophy, and the related philosophical positions. So, the chapter Appearance are Deceptive consists of 4 different subtopics. These subtopics are the difference between what is and what we see. That is, appearance are deceptive. Second, the concept and the nature of Satya, real. What is the ultimate reality? Then, the difference between the permanent and the impermanent. And last, aesthetic and aesthetic philosophy, the 2 other branch of philosophy. Coming to the 4th chapter, getting to know, knowing. This chapter aims to distinguish between information, knowledge and belief. It tells us what are the difference between the information, knowledge and belief. It explains the different sources of knowledge with example. So it shows the means of obtaining knowledge with the help of example. Then it critically evaluates the sources of knowledge and the process of acquiescing of knowledge. So, the chapter Getting to Know Knowing also consists of 4 different parts. What is knowledge? Second, the difference between the knowledge and information. Third, the sources of knowledge. And fourth, the process of obtaining knowledge. Chapter 5. Freedom and Moral Value. This chapter aims to understand the difference between the mechanical and the human action. It distinguishes between the voluntary and the involuntary action. It tries to describe the significance of moral rules from the perspective of the association between individual and society. So, it tells us the importance of moral rules that are necessary for the prosperity of society and individuals. It helps to explain the concept of moral value and how these moral values are applied to the basic concept in ethics. So, chapter 5, Freedom and Moral Rule, consists of 4 topics: the subject matter of ethics, types of actions, the necessity of moral law, and the concept of values and the types of values. Chapter 6, Science, Technology and Philosophy. The aim of this chapter is to explain the role of philosophy with respect to science and technology. It makes us understand the historical overviews of increasing use of energy. It makes us understand the place of science and technology in today's life. It also explains the concept of sustainable development and alternative lifestyle with example. So, the aim of this chapter, Science, Technology and Philosophy, is to show us the role of philosophy in today's life and the importance of sustainable development. This chapter also consists of 5 subtopics. These topics are: 1. The interrelation between the philosophy and science, how philosophy and science are related with each other. 2. Problem generated by technology. What are the problems that the technologies are facing? 3. The interrelation between the science and technology, how science is related with technology. 4. Introduction to environmental philosophy and sustainable development, the development that takes place in the environmental philosophy. And 5th, philosophy changing stand on science and technology. So, these are the different 6 chapters that we are going to study this year under the field of philosophy. Students, as you must be aware that certain parts of all the subjects are being produced for this academic year 2021. So the excluded content of the philosophy is: 1. Vishnu Dharmotra Purnama. It is on page number 4. 2. Socrates Dialogue. That is on page number 11 of your textbook. 3. The interrelation between the historical condition and philosophy in Indian context. It is on page number 19 and 20. 4. Timeline on page number 26. 5th, the other branches of philosophy, page 27 and 28. So these are the 5 subtopics that is being excluded for this academic year. So students, this was all about the overview of the subject philosophy and the chapter that it contains.